on so much and I didn't record it. I was just so, oh no. That's okay, that's okay, it's okay. Let's just restart. Welcome to my YouTube channel. This is actually something that I have wanted to do for the longest time, and I kept finding reasons not to, or reasons why I couldn't do it, and I guess now we're really here and this is actually happening. This isn't the first video that I am posting on here, but it is the first video that I am uploading specifically for YouTube. I have actually filmed this video 5 times and have rejected every single one, but I have decided that this is the final one and this is the one I am going to post. So, what were we gonna do today? So I wanted to do a get to know me / ask me questions video because most of you are probably coming from social media or Instagram, and it's about time I did a video like this. So what I actually did is a what is it called? A hashtag Ask Laura on Twitter and a Ask Me Questions story on Instagram, and I asked you to ask me whatever you wanted about me. I didn't realize that I was going to get so many questions, so thank you guys so much for sending your questions in. I didn't put them in any particular order because I wanted it to be a bit more fun and natural that way. Anyway, with that, let's finally get started with my first YouTube video ever. The first question is, were you named after anyone? And this is actually, funnily enough, by Laura_Anika_, which happens to be my name. So yeah, as I said, my name is Laura Anika, and I was named after someone. I was actually named after Laura Davis and Anika Sorenstam, and they were the 2 most successful golfers at the time of my birth. So it is clear that I'm a big disappointment, and my parents wanted me to be a golfer. The next question is by Alana Maha, and she says, I'm confused. What country are you actually from? Good question, Alana. I'm confused too. This has actually been something that I have struggled with my entire life because my dad is British and my mom is Filipino, but I grew up in Germany until I was 18, and so there has always been a big kind of discussion about where I'm actually from. I always tell people that I'm British Filipino. There is some Spanish mixed into there, but let's just keep it simple for now. Mahirap ba mag-adjust sa Philippines lalo na at lumaki ka sa Germany? This question is by It's Me Jenny. So to be honest with you guys, yes. I didn't think that it would be because I had been to the Philippines so many times before. But actually when I moved here, I found it really hard. And I'll go into this in future videos if you want me to. I'll talk about all my experiences after I moved here. But there was actually one point where I flew back to England. And I think the big reason is because it took me a while before I was able to find friends here. But now I have a really good group of people who I just love, and they've become like a family to me. So I think that really helped a lot in finding my place here. The next question is by It's Me Gladys, and she asks, what is your favorite thing about, what is your least favorite thing about yourself? My least favorite thing about myself, it has to be the fact that I am such a perfectionist. I am so critical of everything that I put out. No matter what it is that I put out to people, I'm always the biggest judger. I'm always looking for ways that I could have improved, and in some scenarios that's great, but you don't always have to be perfect. This one is by Just Call Me Chai Chai Chai, and she asks, how old are you and when is your birthday? You know what? I have answered this question so many times. I thought everyone knew how old I was, but when I did this Ask Me thing on Instagram, most of the questions were just how old am I? So once and for all, I am 23 years old. I was born on the 23rd of July, 1997. Lovely Doll 736 asks, how tall are you? I'm 5'5", so I don't know whether you consider that short or tall. In centimeters, that's 165 centimeters. In Europe, I've always been one of the shorter ones. Here, I wouldn't say that I'm one of the tall ones actually. I would say I'm quite average, but yeah, 5'5". Just Me Justine asks, do you have any secret talents? How many languages can you speak? And this is by Cariz_RN. So I speak English, German, Spanish, and Filipino. Why did you take chemistry as your course? By Verlies. I took chemistry as my course because I don't know if you've seen the show NCIS, but I wanted to be just like Abby. I wanted to solve crimes using science, and that's why I initially got into chemistry. When I got into uni though, I realized that learning about it and coming up with new science, completely different worlds, and you have to be really smart to come up with new science. Hera082086 says, tell us something about the Elm Tree Foundation. So the mission of the Elm Tree Foundation is actually to provide shelter and support and education for underprivileged children. And we were never rich, but we grew up very aware of the fact that we had enough. And I think it's because my parents really exposed us to people who didn't. And so we'd fly to the Philippines every year, and we'd go to the province and we'd host Christmas parties for children who maybe hadn't experienced that sort of thing before. So every year we collected loads of stuff from neighbors, friends, and we took them in big suitcases every year. We always had massive suitcases. I think we were overweight every time we flew to the Philippines. But my point is, we were always brought up to give back. And when my brother actually joined PBB and got his first paycheck here in Manila, we wanted to do something that would leave a legacy no matter what happened next. If you help a child when they're young, if you teach them values, if you support them, then that child will grow up to help other people. And so it builds a whole system of people helping people, and that's why it's so important. This is a really good question. This one is by More About Marsh, and she asks, what are 5 things that you can't live without? Okay, let me count. Love, faith, beauty, space, and adventure. Let me explain. Love. That doesn't have to be in a romantic sense. Imagine if we didn't have the love of our friends and family, especially during the crazy 6 months that we've all had to experience together. Space. I need my personal space. I need time to wind down alone. Adventure. For me, going to a foreign country and exploring what that country has to offer in terms of culture, food, people, that for me is an adventure, and that is something that I look forward to all the time, and that's what I miss so much right now. Faith for me is so important because I live my life by it, and you don't even have to be a spiritual person, because whatever it is you have faith in, whether it's science or the universe, just having faith that tomorrow will be a better day, or this pandemic is going to lift, or everything's gonna turn out okay. For me, that's something I can't imagine living my life without. And the last one is beauty, and you might wonder why I put beauty on the list. But the reason I think beauty is so important is because imagine a world where we couldn't wake up and look outside and see the sunshine or see children laugh. Whatever beauty is to you, whether that is art or music, I think to each of us it's something special and something that we can't live without. Are you the type of person who is very particular that your things have to be branded and expensive? Eileen0416. This one's actually from Twitter. It's a good question. I definitely don't. I will say though that quality is something that is important to me, the quality of an item, because I want it to last. I don't want to have something that I can only wear 10 times and have it fall apart. Fidem Sapientiae asks, what makes you happiest? Spaghetti bolognese makes me happiest. Hypothetical question. If tomorrow were the last day of the world, how would you spend your last day? And this one is by Miles Chloe 23. I would spend it watching MasterChef Australia with my family and probably eating spaghetti bolognese. Elisa Rose asks, what is your favorite ice cream flavor? My favorite ice cream flavor is yogurt ice cream, but when I moved to England, I actually had to discover new flavors because yogurt ice cream didn't seem to be very popular there. So I discovered honeycomb ice cream, which is also so good, and malted milk ice cream, which they actually have here in the Philippines. The best ice cream is Carmen's Best, and she makes an amazing malted milk ice cream. If you haven't tried it, I highly recommend it. Mary May asks, what instrument do you play? I play the piano, or at least I have played the piano for many years. Here in Manila, I don't have a piano, or I have a keyboard, but it doesn't have weighted keys, so it's very hard to be able to practice without those weighted keys. So I haven't been able to practice properly in a while, but I did grow up learning how to play the piano. So we made it to the last question, and this one is kind of a deep question, and it's a good one to end the video with. And this one is by Tita Angie, and she asks, where do you see yourself 5 and 10 years from now? Okay, so geographically, I don't really know where I'm going to be yet. A lot of things can change in 5 years, but all I know is that in 5 years, I want to be living my life's true purpose, whatever that may be in 5 years. And I want to be doing something that I enjoy and that I'm good at, that makes some sort of positive contribution to the world and to society, and hopefully also inspires other people to do the same. I also want to be surrounded by people who inspire me to be a better person, and who love me, and who I love, and just make me happy. And I don't think that in 10 years from now I would want anything different. And we made it to the end of this video. I can't believe it. I have done this 5 times. I can't believe we actually made it to the end. But thank you guys for watching if you are still with me this far. And I hope that you were able to get a better insight into who I am. If you have any other suggestions for other topics that I could talk about, please leave them in the comments below. I will be reading them and making note of your suggestions. Also, turn on your notifications so you don't miss the next video. I will be trying to put out a new video every single week, but bear with me, I'm still getting the hang of this vlogging thing. But again, I really hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you next time. Bye guys!